Welcome back to another episode of Two Dimes and a Token. I am one of your hosts. We have multiple hosts today. I am Bruck Nasty, and this is...
Avery.
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 That's Avery. There you go. So, today, we are going down the episode. I don't even remember what number we're at. I don't remember what number we're at all. But, either way, that's because I'm dumb. But I know that we are actually premiering part 2 of our podcast that we shot with everyone with Death Grip Wax, some of the sponsors that went up, and some of the winners of some of the categories and events at the event that we went to in Daytona Beach. Mm-hmm. You remember I was gone for that?
Yes.
Right? You saw some of the clips, though.
Yeah.
This guy's mustaches look pretty cool, right?
They were.
They were dope, weren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, but before we get into that, we need to talk about our sponsor of the podcast. This episode is brought to you by... Who's it brought to you by?
Death Grip Wax.
Death Grip Wax. That's right. You can see the shirt right above me and the poster of where we went to in Daytona. Death Grip Wax is the leading edge company of all time when it comes to your facial hair needs. They have the best wax that produce the best mustaches in the world, as certified by the national champions, which was all Death Grip Wax users. In your face. They have phenomenal beard oils. They have fantastic utensils to shape, design any type of mustache that you want and any type of facial hair you want to get. Everything at your disposal. Plus, as I pulled up earlier, they give you an awesome bag with every single purchase. They have these cool little labels that they got. Some of the coolest things on the planet here. I believe this is Death Grip Pomade. I'm going to have to pull another one out for the next one. But we got stickers all over the places. Great company, awesome individuals, and they have an even doper brotherhood that you become a part of when you decide to purchase Death Grip Wax products. And as a matter of fact, you can go to deathgripwax.com, or you can go to the links in our bio, right? Mm-hmm. And you can use the promo code
2 Dimes and a Token.
There you go. Promo code 2 Dimes and a Token, all caps. And you can get 20% off your entire purchase. That's right, 20% off your entire purchase. So if you purchase $100,
20%.
How much do you get off?
20%.
20%. What's 20% of 100?
70.
No. However, $20 off on a $100 purchase, so you get 20% off your entire purchase. Amazing people, amazing brotherhood, and amazing company. And like I said, if you're looking to revolutionize your facial hair look and you want to take yourself from a 6 to a 10, Death Grip Wax is the company for you. Now, in this episode, so we sat down with Levi, the owner and operator of Death Grip Wax, the CEO of the company, right? We also sat down because we got quite a few. I believe there was 4 on this particular one. We also have Mr. Ray, and we have another guy named the Texas Tickler, right? Which I love that one. So,
Funny.
Levi had an awesome story to go off. Number one, how he came up with the company and how he developed it, and also how he built the brotherhood of all those dudes with the mustaches and the awesome personalities. Another guy I really want to give a huge shout out to, Mr. Ray Houston. Ray came on and he had such an unbelievable story, but he had a story of kind of a little bit of overcoming a lot of mental health issues. Mm-hmm. And I do want to make sure before we get into the episode that we give him a big shout out for his outreach that he put together. I apologize, I'm trying to make sure I pronounce it right, but the Sierra One Veteran Outreach. So that is actually something that you can look up on Instagram. They got quite a few followers already. There you go. But just an amazing guy. You see that mustache? Look at that. That thing's nice, isn't it? But
Nice.
Number one, before you guys get in the episode, make sure you go and look up the Sierra One Veteran Outreach. Awesome outreach program that he's put together. And I was super excited hearing his story. And Levi had a great story as well, as I was saying. And like I said, all these guys, pretty awesome. Awesome individuals, just amazing brotherhood that they've all put together, and you guys are truly in store for an awesome episode to hear from each one of these individuals. And as a matter of fact, the Texas Tickler, right? I love it. That was such a great name.
Funny.
Him and his powerhouse girlfriend came on, right? They have been doing mustache shows together because they have the ladies that you can design stuff, right? And they can do a whole mustache thing. They came in and rocked the competition as a power couple too. So, like I said, awesome episode. How are you feeling about it? Are you excited to watch this?
I'm excited.
You're excited?
I'm excited.
I was about to curse right there, but I'm not right now. See? I'm not going to curse, but I'm excited as well. So without further ado, make sure you guys go Two Dimes in a Token. What do they need to do when they go on YouTube? What do they got to press?
The subscribe button.
Hit the subscribe button, right? And then you need to leave what?
Like.
You need to like on social media, and then underneath the YouTube videos and Spotify, they need to type comments. There you go.
Sorry.
See, she's getting this thing. That's what I'm talking about. So make sure you guys hit the comments. Give us your spice of the week. Please let us know. We want to know what your spice of the week is. What's made your week a little bit better, even when things aren't always going the way you want. We want to know those things so we can shout it out. We can give you some kudos. We can share ours as well. But without further ado, let's get into the episode.
Yeah.
First interview of the day. First podcast of the day, dude.
Love
Right
it.
there,
I
this
love
one.
it.
So give us what's full name. Stay right in there. Full name. Where can they find you on your socials?
My name is Hunter Kelly. You can find me mostly on Instagram and TikTok. Instagram is Hunter_Kelly_99. TikTok, I do believe, is Balmy Inc. But if you look up Hunter Kelly, I should pop up. I like to toot my own horn and say that I'm pretty famous, so it should pop up when you type it.
I mean, it's just like, a couple 100,000 followers. Like, no big deal. Like, whatever. Between all of
Just
them.
500,000.
Yeah, it's whatever. Yeah. It's not a big deal.
It's not like some of the other guys that's got millions. But
Hey,
we're on our way.
see, there's only a couple of those. You're right there. So, dude, do me a favor. Lift that up when you're there you go.
Yes, sir.
How did you get started into this, man? Like, this is incredible. First time I saw you on social, I know I asked you a question, but now I got to tell you, like, it was incredible. Some of your stuff, like, you have some great videos showing your morning routine, some ASMR stuff, but it's just like, it's insane. How'd you get involved?
So when I was in high school, I grew facial hair and I hated shaving. Absolutely hated it. So I'd grow like a sad little mustache compared to this, and then my goatee would come in. And I would grow that out a couple weeks, shave it down, grow it out, shave it down. And I always shaved like water running down. So I'd go from my sideburns, cut it down, cut the mustache, and then cut the chin. I always cut the mustache first. And then college rolls around and mustaches were starting to make their little comeback.
Yeah.
And I was like, it'd be funny if I just left the mustache. So I shaved everything, shaved the chin, went to college. And my friends were like, bro, that is amazing. You have to keep it. So I went and got my school ID taken with this like sad little wannabe curled mustache. And then it would grow out, get in my mouth. And I was like, all right, I can't take it. Shave it down. And then it just kind of became a rinse and repeat thing.
Yeah.
So,
dude, because that's honestly like, when we found out we're going to be here, we were super stoked. I started with mine a little bit, and I realized how puny mine was. But now I'm at that point where you were just talking about. I'm like, oh, God, I'm chewing on it every second. So now you've obviously, like you said, you were in college and you kind of started with this thing and it appeared cool. We always had this running joke where, because I played football in college, right? And we always used to just leave the stash. We used to look like one of those 80s stars. We all know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But obviously with you, it evolved. So what was the next step in that evolution?
So the next step, I would let it grow longer, and I would put like hair products in the mustache just to hold the curl.
Yeah.
And it would just get so irritating. I would shave it down.
Yeah.
And I'd posted one time, this was February of 22, that I was like, hey, I'm thinking about shaving the mustache. I had like 4 followers.
Yeah.
And I had gentleman reach out to me. He's like, bro, you can't shave that. That's like the best mustache ever. And I was like, all right, I'll go like 2 more weeks. And I was like, I just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And in that 2 weeks, I had 2 or 3 different companies reach out and they're like, hey, we have mustache wax. And if you pay for shipping, we'd love to send it to you. I was like, there's mustache wax? I've been freaking using like pomade to try and hold my mustache in place. So I get the first couple of tins and I'm like, this stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
And I look back at it now and I'm like, I laugh at myself because the mustache looks so bad.
Yeah.
And then I think it was Death Grip was like the third one that reached out to me.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we'd love to send you a product. And I was thinking like a tin of mustache wax, and they sent me a tin of everything. So at the time,
Yeah.
it was Bare Bones, Sudden Death, and then Death Grip.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And so I started using their stuff a lot.
Yeah.
September, November rolls around, and they're like, hey, we would love to have you on the team for nationals.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I say no to like the company that really helped me grow a mustache?
Yeah.
So I was like, absolutely. So got on a plane, flew out to
Wow.
Casper, got second place last year in my styled mustache category.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And then we went out to eat later. I was kind of bummed. I was like, man, I was really shooting for first. And
Yeah.
we're sitting at a restaurant. All of us got mustaches.
Yeah.
And this local just comes walking in. The first person he makes like direct eye contact was me. And I was like, man, that just helped boost my ego a little bit more.
There you go.
Yeah. Because I'm sitting next to Jacob Ames and Brandon Lane, the guy that beat me last
Yeah.
year. So it was nice to get picked out first from the guy that beat me last year.
Yeah.
So I was really hoping for a rematch this year, but some unfortunate circumstances with Brandon. So wish him and his family the best, but hate he couldn't be here.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So where did you travel from to come here today?
I'm from North Carolina. I'm
Okay,
right
so still live
outside
there.
Winston-Salem. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic, dude. So, in that time, like you said, it's kind of been a short period of time for you, and
Oh,
you've
yeah.
just blown up. Like, what's made this? What do you feel like contributed so much to the popularity on your socials and all that networking and stuff?
I wish I had a definite answer for
Yeah.
it. It's just like one day I woke up and it's like I had 2,000 followers. And then I woke up the next day and it was like 10,000. And then it jumped from 10,000 to about where I'm at right now, about that 70,000 in a couple of like weeks.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. And I talk with people and I'm like, well, what do you like about it? And they're like, you're just an honest dude. I'm like, I just style my mustache. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, very few of my videos do I actually talk. It's all just
Yeah.
silent. I just throw some music over it. And they're like, man, we just love it. And talking with a lot of the mustache guys now, they're like, man, you have helped me style my mustache. You've really showed me like how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's great. That's why I wanted to put the content out there.
Yeah.
Because at the time, Death Grip had like one video of Josiah styling his mustache,
Yeah.
and then Bob. And Bob's great at what he does,
Yeah.
but it absolutely doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let me do what I do, see if people like it, and then it just
Yeah.
kind of snowballed and snowballed.
That's incredible, man. What is that experience felt like personally? Like when you woke up and you're like, dude, 70,000 followers just on Instagram alone. Like,
Yeah.
how did you feel in that moment?
I was in shock. I was like, this isn't right. This isn't right. I figured somebody like hacked and was doing like some fake account nonsense.
Right.
And then it like kept going. It jumped to like 10,000 to like 20,000. And then I looked at it again. It was at like 40 in like a matter of, I think, a couple of days. I have screenshots somewhere because I'm like, this isn't real. This isn't real.
Yeah.
Screenshotting it. And it kind of reached and it hit about 70. And it's kind of been a slow trickle around that
Yeah.
part. But
That's still incredible, man. And honestly, just as a comment to that, I think it's just it's cool what you put up. You're just cool,
Yeah.
and you have that vintage style look, and it's just that like gritty, like gentleman's look. You know what I'm saying? When they
Oh,
say
yeah.
honest guy, like just like you walk in and it feels like, remember those old boxing things?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you walk in and you feel like you could whip everyone's ass. That's what it feels like, you know. So what are you going to be competing in here today?
I'm doing the handlebar. I think they changed what it was called.
Yeah.
Because I think when I pre-registered, it was like styled mustache, same as last year. But registration, I think it's just handlebar.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing groomed. I can't beat Levi in that. He's
Yeah.
just got that down too good.
I feel you.
So we'll go styled handlebar this year. Hope for my redemption, get first place. Hopefully last night was a pretty good indicator since I won the American mustache category against some people.
There it is.
That's it.
Right there. First place beforehand. It's good signifier.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
fantastic, dude. So what are your future plans? I mean, is this something that you're going to try and take on? Because I know that and a lot of people don't know this, you can turn this into a career. You can turn this into like a marketing campaign. You can turn this into a lot of different things. Is this something that you're passionate about to say, hey, I want to do this as a career or as a lifestyle or?
Not so much as far as a career. I love doing it, and I tell all of I'm a personal trainer by trade, so that's what I do day in and day out, and I love doing that.
Yeah.
I don't want my mustache to be my job. I love coming here. I love spending time with people, talking with people I get to see on social media, but I don't want it to be my job. I will come here. I'll compete. I want to do more with the community.
Yeah.
Next year, I'm going to start setting aside more time to actually go to some of these smaller competitions. I wanted to do that last year, but I had started a new job, and then just trying to fight that with vacation. It just wasn't working.
I feel you.
So we're shooting for, I think they're doing the Great American next year too. Nationals. There's the Mid-Atlantic in Virginia I want to shoot for. So there's some fairly close to where I am that I should be able to kind of dart out on weekends and hit up. So I want to be more active in the community, like facing the community. But career-wise, I do personal training, like I said. So that's where what I went to school for and what I want to do with my life going forward. So
have you ever thought about just going into a little bit more personal ambition? So have you ever thought about opening your own gym and that type of stuff?
Yeah, so I'm working on that now. I work in a one-on-one studio, which is kind of the same concept of what I want to open.
Yeah.
And I don't have a set time frame on when I want to open the studio, but I am trying to put everything together and get all the ins and outs on how to do business, because I'm a kinesiology major, so I know the science behind exercise and how to do it, but then you look at the business side and it's like, I have no idea.
I feel you on that, man. I do. I feel you on that. So we've actually interviewed quite a few friends of ours, because we come from a huge sports background. So a lot of our guys, like, they can't really go into like normal work environment, you know. They have to, like, I got to start a gym. You know what I mean? They just have to do something athletic. So we have quite a few friends, which, by the way, after we're done, I'll give you some contacts, dude.
I appreciate it.
But, dude, so how old are you, man?
So I'm 24. Yeah.
I'm old as hell. There's no doubt, bro. I'm old as hell.
Well, I'm super young, super blessed to have the facial hair that I do. And I think that's another thing that really helps me stand out in the community, because most of the guys are kind of mid to late 20s or into their 30s or 40s. And my mustache just grows so thick and so full at such a young age. I just tell everybody my sideburns ran into my upper lip. So my hairline's also doing the same thing. So I tell them that my hairline's just run into my upper lip.
There you go, bro. That's dope. He's so ingrained with manliness DNA.
That's it.
It's right here. That's awesome, dude. So when you got hooked up with Death Grip, I know we kind of dove into it a little bit, but what has this overall experience been like? Because it's still what, about a year you've been with them?
It'll be 2 years this year.
2 years, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how is working with Levi and that whole, with the Death Grip company, how has that been for you overall?
Amazing. Yeah. I mean, I was talking with Levi last night, and the mustaches, like, as a category and as a competitive stage, would not be a thing without Death Grip.
Yeah.
So, because the last year at Nationals, there were like 7, 8 of us that competed. And when he opened the group chat for this year's Nationals, there's like 20 people in the group chat. And then the Instagram chat that we have going on, there's like, I don't even know, 30, 40 people in
I know, that thing's blowing up,
bro. And honestly, without Death Grip and Levi really pushing for that, I wouldn't be here. I mean, I don't mind competing, but like I said, I do other stuff in my day-to-day. And if Levi wasn't such a great guy and I didn't really feel like I wanted to help him out, I doubt I would be here. So
I feel you, man. So I gotta say the same thing, man. We've been connected with Levi for a little bit, and is one of those guys, and the way they do things over there, it's like inspiring a little bit. And you're like, man, it's great people I'd love to just be associated with.
Oh yeah.
So I feel you on that. That's awesome.
And then he really brings the community together. And we were talking with Brendan last night at Joe's, and he was like, you know, the beard and mustache community is just like the embodiment of America. People just come together just to be good. You know, we're all from different walks of life, and then it just brings us together by having facial hair of all things. So, and everybody's here to help each other out.
Yeah.
And the mustaches being such a smaller community than like beards or partial beards, it's like something happens in the mustache community. It's like, we're there for you, man.
I was going to ask you that, man. What is that introductory of what is that compared to other communities you've been a part of? Because we all know different cliques, different things that you're a part of, especially like the physical training, that type, and, you know, personal training, that has its own community. And then other parts that you've done in your life, we all experience that. How is this mustache community really, you know, compared to some of the other communities that you've been a part of?
I find that the mustache community isn't out to get you. They're not out to put you down. They're not out to be on top. When you look at fitness content, whether it's a gym or your own personal, they're like, man, that's some crappy weight, crappy form. Oh, that's awful.
Right?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
There's always somebody like bashing you, really trying to make it hard to push and do better and be there. The mustache stuff, it's like you post a mustache, it's like, man, I love it.
Yeah.
Even if it's something small, it doesn't have to be big and crazy.
Yeah.
But like even like yours, I was looking at it yesterday. I was like, man, we could throw a little wax right there on the end, shave it down, get you in the competition.
See what I'm talking about? See, I got it, guys.
That's it.
What
That's
I'm saying.
it.
I've noticed that too, man. That's one thing that's been extremely unique, and I posted it last night in that group chat we were talking about.
Yeah.
Such a unique community. It's so welcoming. It's so like inviting, and it's just the moment that we showed up at Joe's for the world record competition, it was just like everyone's like, hey, you know, and they saw the shirts and they're like, yeah, you're coming in, hey, and it was like, it's a different world, man, and it's amazing. It really has been the cool experience in the short time that we've been hanging out with everybody.
And it's like that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so inviting. Another example is like smaller sports. Like I started doing some strongman stuff, and just being in that community, everybody's just so inviting. And it's not like somebody's like out to stab you in the back and get ahead of you. And the beard and mustache community is the same way. I mean, you'll be out in public, and you got some guy with like a big beard, and he'll look at you and give you the little nod, and you kind of hit him with like that's a good looking beard. And
it's just like manliness, accepting, looking, respecting other manliness.
Exactly.
I dig it, bro. Yeah. That's awesome. So, like, you have, I mean, let's be honest, dude, you have tons of time in your life. I mean, you're a young guy, man. Like, how long do you see yourself being involved in competitions like this? Like, just in, like we talked about, not as a career, but just something you're going to do.
Honestly, I've never really thought about it. I just kind of roll with it, and 2 years have flown by, and it feels like no time at all.
Yeah.
So, and then you see a lot of the guys here, and they're older, and it's like, I want to be able to help keep pushing and help get more people, whether it is a beard, mustache, or partial beard categories, just help give them a little bit of pointers. Stuff that I didn't have necessarily when I was coming in, like, oh, hey, you're about to walk out on stage. You might want to, you know, tweak your mustache, add this little bit to your beard, brush it out, something.
Yeah.
So I could see myself doing this for a long time. Like I said, not necessarily making it a career. That way I can stay more passionate about it.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of fade out of time.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that, man. Because once that hobby, sometimes you turn it into that full-time role, it becomes not the hobby anymore.
Yeah.
You can lose passion about it. But this, like I said, this is an incredible time, bro. And, you know, we're not going to keep you any longer, but
It's all good.
Dude, thank you so much for stopping by.
Well, thanks for having me, man.
Dude, do me a favor one more time. Look in that camera. Tell everybody where they can find you.
So you can find me on Instagram, Hunter_Kelly_99. And the 99, yes, is my birth year. That way people can be like, man, you're only 24. And then TikTok is at Balmy Inc., BALMYINK. Or if you just search Hunter Kelly, it should pull up. Like I said, I am kind of famous.
He is kind of famous. I looked him up. I was impressed. So whenever you guys get a chance, make sure you guys go follow him on socials. Hit him up if you guys are interested in looking to expand your exfoliation on your mustache. Get yourself to this kind of level. Make sure you reach out to him, connect with him. Like we said, this is an amazing community. And thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having
Fist
me.
bump. Mr. Levi, bro, thank you so much for coming on. It's absolute honor of mine. We appreciate you taking the time. Before we do dive into our conversation, though, please look right into that camera, tell them where they can find you and where they can find Death Grip Wax.
100%. My name's Levi Harris. We're from Woodland Park, Colorado. DeathGripWax.com is our website. You can find us on all the social media platforms at Death Grip Wax. And hit us up. We'd love to connect with you guys, answer any questions you guys might have about competitive bearding and mustaching, or just get to know you guys a little bit. So, Bruck, thank you so much for having us, brother.
Dude, absolutely. So, by the way, you can also find that link in the link for 2 Dimes and a Token as this amazing partnership grows. So, my man, dude, I got a little bit of that story yesterday of how this thing started.
Yeah.
But walk me through this, man. How did you get started with Death Grip Wax?
Yeah, man, I grew a mustache, and
Yes.
that's where it started. So
I love that.
It actually started as a joke, right?
Yeah.
No Shave November, which right now, guys, it is No Shave November. So make sure
is
you
correct.
grow your mo, save a bro, check out the Movember Foundation. But yeah, so I participated in a No Shave Movember, and I grew what I could, which was not much at the time. This was probably 9 years ago.
Nice.
And after the end of the month, I was looking pretty rugged, pretty scraggly, and I said,
So you're looking like me, basically.
"No, you look good, man. You look good." I got like 3 hairs, like from here to here, on the sideburns. So, but anyway, a little bit of a goatee, a little bit of a mustache at the time,
Yeah.
and I thought I'll have some fun with it.
Yeah.
I'll trim off the sides, kind of have the goatee, then I'll trim off the middle. I mean, what guy hasn't done this at some point in their life, right?
Yeah.
See how that looks. Had the Fu Manchu for about 25 seconds to a minute, just enough to get a good laugh from my wife.
Absolutely.
And then last but not least, just left the mo.
Yeah.
And the mo stuck, right?
Yeah.
Or as they say, it grew on me.
Yes.
But no, I left the mo. My wife laughed, thought it was hilarious. I thought, man, I'll go see what my brother thinks of this. I drove down to where my brother was working at the
Yeah.
time, and he got a good laugh out of it as well. So did his coworkers. I thought, this is funny. I'm making people smile.
Yes.
And so I just let it grow. And, I went to work the next day. Everybody was making fun of me. Everybody was like, "You're not leaving that on your upper lip, are you?" And I was
Absolutely.
like, "Oh, it's here to stay." And this was 9 years ago. I've never looked back. As far as Death Grip goes, I met our founders, Megan and Durwood, in 2014, right after they founded the company.
Okay.
They were at a street fair, picked up a tin of Death Grip, started styling a little bit. I had no idea about mustache wax at the time.
Yeah.
And as I learned more about how to style your mustache, I got more confident. Seems like I was getting a raise or a promotion at work. Everybody I was going to, I actually got a free burrito at Chipotle. They'd, I'd go through the line. They'd be like, I'd say, "How much is it?" They'd be like, "For you with that mustache, it's free." And so, there are perks.
Yes.
And the ladies love it. So my wife digs the mustache as well. So
There you go.
but yeah, so I met Megan and Durwood. Then we, didn't see him again for a couple years.
Yeah.
They came into my coffee shop I was managing at the time and started spending their afternoons, their mornings, 4 or 5 hours a day. They'd be in our coffee shop just working on the website for Death Grip and vintage grooming and working on the different blog posts, stuff like that. So I got talking with them and started doing a little bit of modeling with them at the time. And in 2019, they kind of approached me and said they're thinking about taking their life a different direction. I was hoping to take my life a different direction at the same time. And next thing you know, we worked out a deal. I acquired the company November 2019, and I've just been running with it ever since.
Yeah.
And it's been a blast. It's taken me all across the country to national competitions. We were in Berghausen, Germany this last June for the World Beard and Mustache competitions.
Wow.
So, it's providing for my family. I've got a 4-year-old daughter and a 1-year-old boy, and then I've got another one on the way coming in March. So,
Congrats, man.
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
on top of that, it's built a community, what
Yeah.
we call the Death Grip Brotherhood.
Yes.
So,
Dude, I know we were talking about this off camera, but I have to say it on camera with you, dude. This community, we've mentioned it in almost every single one of the pods. Every single one of the guys has mentioned it. They're just like, hey, honestly, it's just getting this group of brothers like together and truly enjoying each other's company. We have this singular focus, and it's something where we can support each other, and it's really incredible, dude.
Well, I was in sports all my life. I played basketball growing up, played a little bit of college ball, and when that dream ended, there was a part of me that was missing, and I really kind of thought about, well, what is it that's missing? And it was that brotherhood, right? You're going into a locker room, you're going on a court, you're practicing, you're going after a same goal with these brothers day in and day out, and then working certain jobs. You try to do that a little bit with your employees, but let's be real. Like in your day to day, a lot of these jobs you're not going to find that.
Yeah.
And you do your best with what you're doing for sure. And then when I had my own company, I thought, man, what's it missing? And it was the brotherhood. And the brotherhood is really what we're about. We try to find guys that are going after something and see how we can collaborate in some capacity. Jacob Ames, videographer, right? So we helped, kind of get him started on videography. He made us our first video. It was the first video he ever sold to somebody. Now he's, continued to grow on that. Brendan, he and I connected, and he's a fighter. He's got the mustache.
Yeah.
He's got, the American Ninja type, mentality, and he's just trying to get better every day. I'm like, that's what we're trying to do too.
Yeah.
So literally, I could go on. I mean, David made that painting, and so he made the painting. Guys that, all across the country and the world, even, are able to connect with this brotherhood because of our mustaches, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds silly.
Yeah.
But what it's turned into is something super special.
Yeah, dude. I have to piggyback on that. I couldn't agree more. Because when we sat and we did our first interview with Brendan Kelly as the American Ninja at that time, we weren't even 5 minutes afterwards, and he had already mentioned this. He just said, "Hey, I'm actually doing with Death Grip, and it's a huge brotherhood, man. You'd love to sit down and talk to some of these guys."
Yeah.
So as you're going through that process, right, and you've acquired this company, and what is going through your head, man? Like, because you're taking this gigantic leap.
Yeah.
And that's something that we, on Two Dimes and a Token, we identify a lot with a lot of our guests. We say, hey, what you've accomplished in your life, like, bro, you kind of had to dive off the cliff, and you don't really know if that thing's latched on, man. So what are you thinking in that moment?
I'm not going to lie to you. It is scary.
Yeah.
At the time, I had $2,000 in my bank account once we closed on the deal.
Yeah.
And I had a baby on the way. Actually, we just had my daughter. So
wow.
My daughter was born October of 2019, and then I closed on the company November of 2019.
Yeah.
And I had $2,000 in my bank account, and we didn't have a very reliable car at the time. I had to borrow like $4,000 from my dad to just buy a car that we could, safely travel in to and fro in Colorado, and then just went all in.
Nice.
And if you're not in whatever you're doing, do it with everything you got.
Yeah.
And that's something that I truly, truly believe in. Whether it was me going after college, in basketball, or even the job, working at a coffee shop, I'm all in, right? There's no halfway doing something.
Yes.
If I set my mind to something, I'm going all in.
Yeah.
And you could fail, but I would rather fail trying than never try something.
Done.
And so our mission at Death Grip is to inspire men to live with purpose in constant pursuit of their true potential. And unless you go all in, you're never going to find out what your true potential was. You're never going to know what you truly could have accomplished. It's scary, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a man of faith, and I believe that God put me on this planet for a purpose, and that purpose evolves and changes over time and whatnot. But no matter what you're doing, you can still do it with everything you've got. And here's the thing. When you're bringing your best version of yourself to the table every day, guess what? Somebody's going to see that. Somebody's going to notice that. And then you're going to make that connection that helps you just get to that next step, that next step, that next step.
Yeah.
I have no idea that I'd be sitting here with you
It's true.
in 2023 at the National Beard and Mustache Competition, filming a podcast. We just broke a Guinness Book of World Record
We did.
for the longest mustache chain.
Dope.
And you don't know all that when you go all in at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But you take it step by step with the problem that you have in front of you, and if you just are tunnel vision and you have a purpose and you have a goal and you have like-minded brothers that are there to support you. You know, there's an old saying that I think everybody's probably heard, that iron sharpens iron.
Yes.
And finding the right people that are going after big things. Like, there's no better way, because the cream rises to the top, right? And so if the cream's rising to the top, you're gonna be right with them, going all the way to the top. So that's just what I want to encourage people to do, is find something, and it doesn't have to be something like crazy like Mustaches or you know, something like that. But whatever you're doing right now in this moment, go all in on, and then that's going to change. So like a month from now, a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, you just watch where your life ends up.
Dog, I'm fucking jacked up right now, bro. I'm ready to run through a fucking wall right now, dude. You got me hype right here.
Did I
bro.
mention Coach Prime just moved to Colorado?
Yes. And I got to say this for the pod, man. You showed up on that freaking Joe's Crab Shack on the pier, bro.
Yeah.
Rocking them Prime shades.
yeah.
I was
So-
like, yo, he's ready to run through a brick wall right now.
Coach Prime, I've been a fan my whole life, and then when he came to Colorado, it was like, this is literally the best hire in the history of sports.
Yes.
And so it's you know, Colorado fans, and then you know, there's a lot of Colorado fans now.
Yes.
We were pioneers, you know, but having Coach Prime, you know, watching his content and the way that he you know, presents himself to the world, it's just something you want to emulate, right?
Yes.
And you want to take that in whatever you're doing. So
It is. It's understanding the confidence level that you have in yourself and not accepting less.
And for me, you know, it's that confidence level, but it's not because of me, right?
Yeah.
So so for me, I'm just a human, right?
Yep.
I'm no different than any other guy on this planet, but I have the power of Christ in me. And when you truly understand what that means, you become limitless, because if you're telling me that the creator of this universe created me, right? If that is true, then anything is possible.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I've same kind of conversations I've had with a lot of other successful people that have really grown and done their own businesses. Very similar mindset as you. So I wanted to point that out. I think that's incredible. I think we're starting to see a really big trend there. So now, obviously, you've grown to where you are now.
Yeah.
Right? You're in Daytona Beach. You're having a blast. You're breaking world records. Your family's here. You're flourishing.
Yeah.
Like, what's been going through your head the last 2 months, man, since you've
Yeah.
went from that moment where you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And you just put your head down 4 years later. And I'm confident to say you're probably not where your goals are yet, because your goals probably keep moving.
We just getting started.
Yes. So how are you feeling in this moment where you're like, wow, 4 years of work, I'm having some success right now?
Gratitude.
Yes.
Gratitude, 100%. So whether it was, you know, before I purchased the company, our negotiations actually fell through.
Oh.
All right. So this was back in May of 2019. We had started the negotiations, and we hit some roadblocks, and the negotiations fell through. And I was, you know, obviously, you know, to a certain extent thinking, man, this is, I thought this was for me. And I had my sights on it, and it wasn't working out. And so, you know, Durwood and my talk stopped. And at that time, I was at peace, because I knew that if it was meant to happen, it was going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean I wasn't going for it with everything I had.
Yes.
And it's hard when the answer is no, right? But I had this peace inside of me, and this just contentment with where I was at, that it was going to be all right if that didn't work out.
Yeah.
And again, it was literally the October 20th.
Yeah.
My daughter's born.
Nice.
And that morning, I'm holding my baby girl.
Yeah.
I get a text from Durwood saying, "Hey, you still interested in buying this company?" And I'm like, "You got to be kidding me!"
This is
like,
I'm handling a lot right now, brother.
if you've ever had kids, right?
Yes.
Thankfully, it went pretty smoothly, as smoothly as birthing a child can go.
There you go.
And I get this text from him, and I did not tell my wife for a week, because, like, there's timing, right?
Yes.
Learn that like certain things can wait, certain things, are immediate. That's something that can wait.
Yes.
But I texted him back and I said, "Hey, let's connect here in a week or two."
Nice.
And we connected literally probably the 1st of November, and then by the 19th we were closing on our deal.
That's amazing.
And so yeah, you're asking me how I felt like now, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the same.
Yeah.
Death Grip is not everything for me, right? I love Mustaches.
Yeah.
I love coming here and competing with my brothers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just one element of life, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just gratitude. I'm so thankful for where we're at right now. I'm so thankful for everything that I've learned throughout the process. And it's this weird dichotomy of being content, but also knowing that we're just getting started.
Yes.
And so it's a weird place to find yourself.
Yeah.
Because we've achieved some success. #1 bestseller of Mustache Wax. Multiple national titles and even world titles competing with this product within the Death Grip Brotherhood, and so yeah, you could think, oh, that this is everything, but honestly, we're just getting started.
Yes.
So
I love that, man. I love to hear that. So how do you, and I thought of this just in a second, how do you, like you said, it's not everything just to be about Death Grip, right? You have a family, you have all kinds of moving parts that are going on around you.
Yeah.
As a high-end business owner,
yeah.
how do you manage those things tick for tack? And I think a lot of our previous guests have been business owners.
Yeah.
They've all had different techniques.
Yeah.
How do you handle that day to day?
Well, I wish that there was a simple answer,
Yeah.
a simple formula, but a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, you never know what the day's going to bring.
That's
right.
correct.
And you may have all these plans, and then next thing you know it, somebody's not feeling good, or, whatnot. But I think that it's not about finding balance, right? I hear everybody talking about balance, right? There should be no balance, in my opinion. You should be fully in on whatever you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not always possible, but that's the goal state, right? So if you are working and you say, okay, I'm going to try to get this work done, go in, get it done, be fully invested, make it happen as much as possible. And that's not always possible, but that's the goal state.
Yeah.
And then, when you're with the family, it's trying as much as possible to be there and be present with the family.
Yeah.
And we have our cell phones, right? So it's and when you're a small business owner, the cell phone is the best thing that's ever been invented for a small business owner.
Yeah.
And there's always something you could be doing. There's always something you should be doing when it comes to running a business.
Yeah.
And so it can be difficult to make that separation and set that phone down and give your kids or your wife the full attention that they deserve.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect at this by any means, but that's the goal state. And so when you have a target or something that you're going after, you know when you're going the wrong way, right? Mm-hmm. And so that would be my thought. Okay, where do you want to be as a family? Where do you want to be as a business? And you've got your targets out there.
Yeah.
And when you start to see one drifting away, try to pull it back in.
Yeah.
But be all in. That's my advice is be all in on what you're doing.
I love that, dude. I've never heard it put that way. I've always, like you said, I've always heard the word balance. It's always like balancing. I love the way you put that, dude. That's very different. It's creative. So now that you guys are here, obviously we talked about a little bit of success, right?
Yeah.
What is your ideals for the next 5 to 10 years? What are your individual goals that you're looking to accomplish as far as personally, but also with Death Grip?
Oh man, there are certain things that you can let out of the bag early,
Ooh.
and there are certain things that you just can't let out of the bag.
So I'm like hitting the bottom of the bag here, trying to get some good shit.
Now, what I can tell you is we're pioneers when it comes to the mustache industry.
Yes.
This is our Platinum Edition Everyday Carry Tin.
Yes.
It's got refillable silver bullets. So you can take whichever wax you want for the day, pop it in, pop it out.
Yes.
It's got magnetics 5 magnets that hold it together.
Yes.
And then on the inside, we got the styling mirror.
There it is.
So as you're going up to compete, or as you need, going throughout your day, you got the styling mirror to
Ironically, when you were going to compete today, I saw you.
Yes.
Give that little. Let me get that
Yes.
final touch in.
Exactly.
Do me a favor. Let me face that right in there.
This bad boy was 4 years ago. I had this idea.
Yeah.
And so right now I am, to be honest with you, basking in this because this was a 4-year project
Yeah.
to go from idea to actual physical holding in my hand, giving these to the brotherhood, giving these to the competitors. So that feels good, and you want to celebrate your wins, right?
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so number one right now, we're celebrating achieving a world record. We're celebrating the launch of these new products.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we're satisfied, right?
Yeah.
And I know some people are like, oh, man, you got 24 hours to do that. Nah, man, enjoy life a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're going to Disney after this. We're taking the kids to Disney. We're going to have a good time. You only live once, right?
Yes.
So you want to be all in, but again, you do have work. You got family. Be all in on either of those.
Absolutely, dude. My Aunt Stacy gave me some of the best advice ever because I've always been a very financially driven human being, and because of the way I grew up, I was like, I can't live that way anymore.
Yeah.
I need to have a certain expectation. And the further and further I got in my careers, I realized like different money I was making, I was like, it's never enough.
Yeah.
It's never enough. I can do more. I can do
100%.
more. And my Aunt Stacy hit me one time. She's like, hey, it's funny, like, they're not going to bury you with it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go do something. And I was like, all right.
my pastor always would say, you never seen a hearse with a trailer behind it,
There
right?
you go, dude.
So,
That's awesome.
There's so much, money's necessary,
Yeah.
right? And I truly believe that that God made us to thrive.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're thinking, but there's some words that were spoken back in the day, and it says, I have come to give you life and life abundantly. All right? So when we're talking about life and life abundantly,
Yeah.
and then even if you want to talk about eternity, right? If you
Yeah.
believe in life after, eternity starts now, right?
Yeah.
There's no waiting until the end or when you die for eternity to start. Eternity starts right now.
Yeah.
So don't do the best you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
go make a lot of money. Do good with the money that you're making. But at the same time, the money is never going to be enough,
Yeah.
right? So you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have, the family or a purpose,
Yeah.
you're not going to be satisfied with life.
Yeah, I agree. I used to define it as great relationships.
Yeah.
You have the right relationships and great relationships with your family.
Yeah.
You feel fully satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my man, honestly, I want to go back. One last thing I'm going to hit you with.
Yeah.
So, yesterday, we're organizing on the pier, trying to get the measuring out. We got tick for tax. Things are falling apart a little bit. We're just mixing and matching, right? Stress level's a little high.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, man, we're about to do this thing, right? When you hear those words like world record,
Yeah.
what went through your brain right then?
It was nuts, right? Like I said, I think growing up as a kid, you always see the Guinness Book of World Records, and you're
Yes.
looking through it, and you see the guy with the fingernails that curl around.
I know,
like
man.
18 feet long. And, the guy that's been holding his hand up for like 25 years.
Yes.
And, all this type of stuff. And so I was like, man, I'm never going to be in this book, but this is super cool. and now here we are.
Yes.
And it's a dream come true. Yeah,
That's
it
amazing.
really is. I think every kid that's seen one of those books is like, man, I want to be in there.
Yeah.
And to come here and not only, to be in it myself, but because of the brotherhood and the longest mustache chain, there's also a lot of just personal value that comes with that, and just it goes beyond a Guinness Book of World Record.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree with you more, man.
Yeah.
It's been an awesome weekend. And before we wrap this bad boy up, let me get one more time. Look right in there, and I want to also piggyback as far as what he's talking about with the brotherhood. I've said it on several podcasts. This is an amazing group of individuals, and I feel so blessed that we've had an opportunity to sit with them, chat with them, understand them, learn them, and they've been so embracing as far as our content and the things that we want to bring to the table. Such an amazing group of individuals. So please, by all chance, when you hear his socials everywhere, please reach out and connect.
Yeah, guys. So Death Grip Wax, all your social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those different platforms. Also, deathgripwax.com for our website. We want you to be part of the Death Grip Brotherhood. So start growing that mo this November and shoot us a DM on Instagram. We'll get you hooked up and make sure you feel welcome.
Y'all see it straight from the competition. Death Grip winning, man. Let's get it.
Let's get
go.
it. My man. You are the man, brother. Yes, dude. Thank you. Dude, thank you so much for stopping by the booth. We appreciate you, bro. Give me full name and where everybody can find you on socials and everything.
Hi, I'm Ray Houston. Instagram, token _ Ranger. It's TOKIN _ Ranger. And then at Sierra One Veteran Outreach.
That's amazing, dude. So I got to ask, number one, how did this start? Because that looks pretty elite, bro.
Oh, hey, thank you. Yeah, it's my first time actually competing up here, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
But I lost a bet about 3 or 4 years ago, and I had to cut my beard off. So as a joke, I left the mustache.
Yeah.
And my barber, he just kind of flicked the sides out and was like, man, you know what? You could actually pull that off. And, I realized how much it just makes people smile. So it's kind of escalated from there. So
yeah,
now we're competing at nationals. So
that's amazing, dude. That's fantastic. So
thanks.
It wasn't like any long time ambition or just admiring. All of a sudden one day, just like Barbara's like, hey, you got this.
Yeah, pretty much. It was. I did it as a joke, and then like I said, I realized how much it can brighten somebody's day.
Yeah.
Just with having a mustache, and it looks kind of cool too. It's fun.
Does. It's pretty.
And
dope.
I get to hang out with all you guys out here. So
there you go. What has it been like getting involved in this brotherhood? Because I know you recently joined Death Grip, right?
Yeah, so I started officially working with them, recently, but I've been using their products for a few years now.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting involved with its crew and all the folks out here, like I didn't realize how much of a real brotherhood it really is. We say the hashtag Death Grip Brotherhood.
Yes.
But it's we talk about needing a tribe, we talk about needing that that team, and you can find it in the strangest communities out there, that you don't expect. And that's been really, really special, particularly with the Death Grip team.
Yeah.
It's just really positive guys that are supportive, ladies too. We've got the Whiskerinas out here. So,
right.
Yeah, it's been a really nice experience, and I highly recommend any veterans out there grow a mustache. I can help you.
There you go.
Join the team, join the brotherhood.
That's awesome, man. So I made the same comment to earlier. I was talking to Mr. Hunter, and we've been involved in this in like 48 hours, and just coming here and everything we saw yesterday and setting all that stuff up, like it's such a unique feel. Like everybody is just like, hey, I'm so glad you're here. It's a unique vibe. So if anybody has the opportunity, I'm hitching a ride on the back of this man. You got to try it out. So where are you originally from?
So I was born Fort Benning, Georgia, Columbus area out there. Mostly grew up in Kentucky, but I was military most of my life, so I traveled around the South generally. But currently down in Boca Raton.
Okay, so you grew up in a military family?
I did. My dad did 32 years in the Army.
Wow.
My sister, she was an officer for 8 years. Grandparents, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, so military is like family tradition.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those. Somebody's got to do it. So we're kind of good at it, is what it looks like.
Yeah.
But we're still here. So
awesome.
It's really proud of the family taking care of what we can.
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. I speak for everyone that's watching, dude. Thank you, all of you, for your service, man.
Oh, thank you.
Are you currently still in the military or?
No, I'm not. So I got out end of 2017. I did 4 years in the Navy, in the USS Kearsarge, and then I went in the Army into Special Operations with the 75th Ranger Regiment. I was a sniper there for a little while. Ended up taking over our finance division.
Yeah.
I got out. Had a pretty rough few years. A lot of the cliches that people people know about that veterans get. A lot they don't talk about. I found myself 250 pounds and using a walker.
Really?
And then, fortunately I was able to find that little bit of light in the dark, that little candle, to kind of get towards. And now I do veteran outreach. So I'm so active in the military and veteran community, but not active duty, happily staying home.
Yeah. So with your experience, and again, I would love for you to kind of tell that story a little bit, but only as much as you're comfortable with. What was the experience like in the military? Per se, when you were going through it, was it something that you enjoyed, or was it something that was still like highly stressful?
I really enjoyed it at the time.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to be really committed to do well at.
Yeah.
Especially when you're working, in the more elite units. Everyone's job's real hard. But that to be committed in that kind of way, you have to have that mindset where you do enjoy it. And if you don't enjoy it, you tell yourself you enjoy it enough to believe it. There's some really great times. There's some really great times. Like I said, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, and the after part, like you said, you kind of had a little bit of a struggle, and I'm asking that question to lead into some of the things that you have going on now. But what was, if you're comfortable, what was some of those struggles that you had coming out?
So whenever I got out, I was going through a divorce at the time. I was kind of spiraling out, really burned out from being, at the top and, doing everything I possibly could and not taking care of my mental health really. So when I got out, I went into seclusion, and I didn't realize that I needed help for a good few years. But I was staying home, not talking to anybody. The friends I did have were, bless them, but they were bar friends. And I didn't realize the things that I was medicating to avoid. Drinking heavily, that kind of stuff. Which come to find out, it's not about the alcohol. I couldn't lay my head on my pillow to go to sleep. I couldn't have that 15 minutes that we were by yourself, or that 5 minutes, whatever it is. That was the scariest thing that could have really happened for me. So I had to pass out. So how do you get there? You drink.
Yeah.
And that led to my health deteriorating. I've got some fractures, dislocated things, spinal issues. So compounding with all that and the mentality that I had, I found myself, like I said, 250 pounds, and I was using a walker. Couldn't really walk. Just in pain all the time, not planning on being here much longer. That's one of the things that, a lot of us end up checking out at that point.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I had support and, I was able to kind of pull up a little bit and start heading towards that light. But, getting back in, eating a lot of humble pie, whole lot of humble pie.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
Yeah. And, started getting back on track, got off a lot of the medication that they had me on, used plant medicine, really started to understand how that works. And, once I started losing weight and I wasn't in pain all the time, I was getting my mental health back to where, it wasn't just despair. I didn't realize I was having panic attacks. Like every morning when I woke up, I was having a panic attack.
Yeah.
Had no clue that that's what that was. I thought that's just how you wake up. It was just one thing after another. I started to realize that this isn't normal and finding little ways that I could get through it and get back to what we call normal in the that civilian life. It's the integration portion. It's really such a big key. And that's something that we try and focus on now. To get where I'm still got a lot of work to do myself.
Here we go. We have technical issues.
Technical difficulties. It's all good.
Here we go. You're all good. We have technical issues. See, we fix things live. We're in there. We're in there like swimwear.
Look,
thank you so much.
All purpose, full spectrum.
You're all good.
But yeah, just happy to be here.
Kicks it again. All right, continue, my friend.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's the integration piece from getting to where I was at to where I'm at now. It's like I said, still a lot of work to do. Still got my journey, but taking guys and gals that served our country, that were a part of that, our first responders, and if I can get them from where I was just a little bit further, a little bit faster, you never know, that might be the little bit of time that just saved them. It could be that one little piece that they needed. So just really trying to give that back now.
That's incredible, man. And honestly, that's a story, dude. That is an unbelievable story. And I know you probably hear that whenever you share that a lot, but honestly, dude, you get the goosebumps a little bit because you realize, like, it's so hard, especially from the idea of perspective. when you're at the bottom, it is so hard to envision yourself really just picking yourself back up.
Yeah.
And you were able to do that. And throughout that process, you said you had a couple outreach programs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's been kind of a passion project. Once like I said, once I started to feel like I was getting better, I wanted to just give whatever I had back. So I worked with whatever company I was with, doing outreach for about the past 4 years. But I started Sierra One Veteran Outreach. It's my company. And the idea there is we're linking together all the people that want to help veterans, that can support us, with folks that may not know they need support yet, because that's a really dangerous place to be in. So we're holding events. We're doing most of our stuff focused around healing, sound therapy, massage therapy, plant medicine. Things that are working out here in the veteran community. So like I said, veteran suicide is our number one killer right now. It's taken more folks than the war did, which that statement alone should be pretty flooring. I lost 2 friends this year already. And it's hard out here. So it's really, opening the eyes that, hey, this is still a fight that people are going through out here. But you're not alone. We're working together to do what we can to help, bless everybody out there doing something good. But, like whatever we can do.
Yeah. And I think, I got to tell you, I give a lot of kudos, because a lot of people feel like they've touched, especially the last year, touched on the idea of men's mental health.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I think that sometimes, and I think we made great strides, but I think sometimes I mentioned it, so I'm good, and we really have yet to dive truly deep into that factor. I feel like what you're talking about, what you've done, and honestly, that's an incredible thing, man. Starting up an organization, doing everything the way that you've done it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. So, just doing my best.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
A lot of support from a lot of people. Barracks Legend Foundation has been a huge support down in South Florida, particularly. Shake a Leg Miami, it's been an outstanding foundation. They serve disabled folks and wounded veterans, teaching sailing, all kinds of things. But it's a lot of support.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, and I know I want to smile a little bit too. So let me switch over, dude. I know we kind of touched on the Death Grip Brotherhood, but I mean, what is this whole experience like? Like you said, this is the first time you've come out here.
Yeah.
And we were out in the pier yesterday. I mean, what have you been feeling the whole time that you've stepped foot in Daytona Beach?
Yeah, it's been awesome. The energy's been fantastic. It's been really exciting. I came up here not knowing anybody in the competition personally, only through Instagram or outreach and support, stuff like that. So the inclusion. The level of support. I say if you can't feel supported here, I don't know what to tell you. Bring it in. I'm gonna give you a hug because I mean it's such a good environment, and it's not just within our own teams. We got the Innuendo guys hanging out with us, the Beard guys. It's just it's all love up here, and for showing up and not really knowing anybody, it's been my first real competition at all. The exhibition last night was my first in person, outside of the Wolix online. But it's just been such a positive, supportive environment. I'm really glad that I'm here. I'm so glad that this is happening, and you guys are out here supporting us.
Yeah, man, dude, it's been a blast.
Yeah,
like I said, dude, we showed up at the pier yesterday, and we're just walking through, and I'm looking at all these designs, all these amazing things, and we're just like, holy shit.
Yeah, I know, everyone's famous.
Away.
Yeah, I'm over here fanboying out a little bit, oh my God, look at Hunter.
Right? Dude, that's
this guy. Look, I'm just amazing. Just wow.
Exactly.
It's interesting having so many of us here. So normally you're kind of the spectacle, which is okay. That's how we sling the smiles out there. But it's so interesting. When you're here, everyone has that. So it's really interesting. That kind of spreads the love out a little bit.
I know, dude. It's incredible, right?
Look at these guys. Look at it.
Look at this guy. We might.
Death Grip brother coming in hot.
We might get a crash from Brendan Kelly over there, dude. So I mean, obviously, you've had a little taste of this now. From the way it sounded like this is going to be something. This is your hobby. This is something you plan on being a part of for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I say, come for the mustache, stay for the message.
Yeah.
So it's one it's great for me. You know what I mean? We're all healing. We're all going through a journey.
Yeah.
And just being around this kind of energy. You guys, everyone that's out here. That's healing. That's what it's about. That's how we stick around. We had something to one stick around for.
Yeah.
And then two, we've got a support system right here. Because I'm telling you, if you're out here, you have a support system. I promise.
Yeah. No, I agree, man. And how do you think, as far as when you first got involved, when was the first time you got the call from Levi and them to saying, hey, we want you to come out and hang out with us, the Brotherhood, and do this competition?
Yeah, so actually, I've been using their product for a few years now.
Yeah.
I wasn't very good at the Instagramming,
Yeah.
but yeah. So Hunter actually mentioned that I should come out for nationals initially, which was really cool because I didn't know he was like looking at my stuff on Instagram. But it was probably about 5 or 6 months ago, really, where it got serious. Like, yeah, we're gonna do the mustache chain. Yes, Levi, we're gonna commit and come out. So fortunately, it's not too far, right up the street, a few hours. So. Yeah, it's been a huge journey since then. Just coming to learn, and but like I said, everybody's been so supportive. Never know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, dude, that's incredible, man. So, final note: what is the exact competitions that you are going to be specifically in today?
Today I'm going to be coming in the groomed mustache.
Yes.
Yep, trim the beard down. So we're just trying to keep it fresh and tight with the groomed.
I feel it, man. So when you walk on that stage and you're showing off your piece, you know what I'm saying? You're feeling good. What do you think is going to be going through your mind? Think you're going to have adrenaline pumping? You feel like you're going to be really set in the zone?
Honestly, I'm just going to kind of keep a straight face.
Yes.
Normally, I got a pretty good poker face, but inside, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? But yeah, I'm just going to go up there and own it. Everybody else is. So
dude,
yeah, let's do it.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Oh, no, thanks for having me. This is it. No, I appreciate you guys.
Before we end, I want you to go shout out all the stuff that you want, your outreach, everything. Stare right in that camera and let everybody know.
Right on. Hey, I appreciate that. No, hey, thank you, everybody being out here. The beer champs, everybody. Man, thank you guys so much. Sierra One Veteran Outreach. It's my outreach program. Barracks Legend Foundation, a Fifth and Core, doing some great things out there. It's a press company down in Miami, serving the veteran community. The Digital Tapestry .studio, if you need a graphic artist, amazing veteran doing some work out there. Again, the Digital Tapestry .studio is his website. But yeah, just and everybody out here with a mustache and supporting and setting up. Just appreciate all the veterans out there. Hang in there, stick in the fight. It does get better. It can get better. If you need support, you can dial 988, press 1. You can talk to someone. There's lots of us out there on Instagram. You can reach out to me. I'll plug you into the community, whatever you need. Just stay here. There's an answer, and it's not checking out. Not yet. I promise. I would have missed all this. And I would say I would have missed the best part. So thank you to everybody that supported me along the way. And yeah, just let's do this. Rangers lead the way.
My man, dude. Thank you again. You
thank
are
you,
the man,
appreciate
bro.
it.
Guys, welcome. Thank you for coming on the podcast. I want you guys to look right in this camera. Tell us where they can find you on your socials and where they can find you anywhere on the internet to check out your fantastic mustaches.
Thank you. David W69 on Instagram, and I'm also handlebar.art. I do the death grip painting for the death grip.
Nice.
I'm also on Facebook of David Trey Weihausen, WEIHAUSEN. And then this is Hannah.
Hi. For Instagram, it's _Hannah AA_. That's
nice.
what I got.
Fantastic. So, dude, walk us through, how did you guys get into this game? Like, into the mustache game?
So, I used to have a whaler unknowingly, which is where you don't have a mustache and you just have a beard.
Yeah.
And I've always had at least something on the chin. And since I was 16.
Yeah.
Whenever I got about, 21, I want to say, I decided I wanted to grow a mustache. Wasn't sure about it, so I'd grow it, trim it, shave it.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, you know what? I want a mustache. I'm going to grow it. So I started growing one, didn't know what I was going to do. And I was thinking back that I always wanted a handlebar. So I said, you know what? I'm going to grow it.
Yeah.
She was not very happy with it at first. She didn't like it. But
you see in her face, she's like, disgusting.
Yeah, but she gave me 2 weeks. I said, give it 2 weeks. If you don't like it, I'll shave it.
Yeah.
After that 2 weeks, she told me I'm not allowed to shave it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very quick turnaround.
Quick change. So kind of looked at him and you were like, oh, hello.
To him, it definitely made him, and just the person he became with it was just great, and I love seeing that.
That's what I'm talking about. When I first saw you, I said, oh, hello. Just kidding.
I used to have the beard and styled stash.
Yeah.
And then wanted to see what I looked like with just a stash, with nothing on my chin or nothing, no beard or anything.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd done that since I was 16. and it was a very scary process shaving that beard off.
Yeah?
And I have not gone back to a beard since.
Hey, congrats on that, dude. So how did you guys get hooked up with Death Grip?
So I followed Bob Elliott, Hunter Kelly, and Death Grip on Instagram.
Yes.
And whenever I started doing the wax, and I found their wax on Instagram or on Amazon.
Yeah.
So followed them, started seeing all their coverage of nationals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I want to do that.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. Bunch of mustache guys competing.
Yes.
So I looked up on the beardcalendar.com and was trying to see if there were any by me. And literally the next month, there was one in Keller, Texas called Harry Holidays.
Yes.
And that was 20 minutes from us. So I decided I was going to go and start this. And she was more than happy to support me and go with me, which was awesome.
That's dope.
And we go to the meet and greet. The girls start talking to her, saying, you know, are you going to compete? And she's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And they tell her, oh, we make all these craft beards and everything. You got to do it. You got to do it. She's like, oh, I don't know. Well, we went home that night, made a beard, and we started this together, and it's been great, honestly.
That's awesome. So what do they call women in this?
Whiskerinas.
That's fantastic, dude. So what was your experience like the first time when you guys go home, you make the beard, and next thing you know, you're competing?
It was nerve-wracking because I'd already decided I'm supporting. Like, it was good.
Yeah.
I'm here to take pictures and stuff of him. And then they were just like, as I leave, they push me out the door and like, you're competing, you're doing it. Like, I'm like, okay.
Next thing you know, you're like, hey, you're on stage with him, kind of thing.
We go to Walmart that night, 5 minutes in, making a beard, and I was there, got third place the next day.
That's insane, man. That's awesome. So, yes, absolutely. Look at this. Look at this label we got in the back right here. Oh, my gosh.
So this is actually the painting that I did.
This is fantastic. This is gorgeous. As a matter of fact, this morning, I got to say, I took like 25 pictures of this, and I posted it all over our socials. Just going to say, you could just leave it there. Leave it there. Absolutely.
Can you still see it?
Oh, yes.
Yes. We'll definitely get that. So, dude, with your painting stuff, obviously you're very talented. How long you been doing that stuff?
So I've been doing art since I was a child. I've been drawing since I was 4, and drawing is what I mainly do. I've only recently gotten into painting. I've only been oil painting for about a year now.
Really?
And Levi hit me up. He wanted to get a painting done for the longest mustache chain, and I was more than happy to do that. I was ecstatic that he hit me up for it.
That's incredible, bro. So what do you do in your daily life? Like,
I'm a full-time artist.
Full-time artist.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Very
dude.
recent, very scary to get into.
Very
to
scary
just
transition.
Try to believe in yourself and do what you can.
Yeah.
But it's going well, and it shows that you can do anything, honestly.
Dude, number one, I'm going to give you a ton of kudos because we've had a lot of different topics on the podcast, and one of the big ones that we kind of preach about is just taking the next step. And like, who cares? Like, at certain points, we've all said it, you're going to fail, right? And you're going to run into certain situations where you're just not sure.
Yep.
And that part where taking the leap is like, it's fucking scary, bro.
Yeah.
And we've met with so many people, like the individual business owners. We met with a mental health counselor who took the leap and started her own business. We've met with a lot of gym owners that separated from working for like a Gold's Gym and said, I'm going to open my own thing. And they can't take any clients with them. And it's kind of nerve wracking. So huge kudos, bro. That's amazing. And it shows a lot of bravery and courage, man.
Yeah, I've only been doing it since June. And she's actually the one who pushed me to finally start doing it. And she's been helping me trying to get it as a business and going and everything.
Yeah.
So if y'all need art, hit me up, handlebar.art.
Yes. Make sure you guys search that right now.
Yes,
Pause
sir.
this podcast. Go search it right fucking now. All right. Secondly, I got to comment on this because it sounds like you guys are like the ultimate team. I
We
mean,
are a strong power couple.
We don't usually get into relationship stuff, and I always try to avoid it. But I got to say, like, you guys are like yin and yang right now. You guys are complimenting each other. It seems like you guys set each other on both sides really, really well.
Yes, sir. We have been together for 4 years now. And August 31st was our anniversary.
Oh, shit.
We pretty much just are the same person in a different body.
That's
And
amazing. That's awesome.
The few things that do contrast good.
Yes.
So like I don't like something, so she gets it, or she doesn't like it, so I get it all.
Yes.
And it just works perfect, honestly.
That is fantastic. Congrats to you guys. So are we're getting married soon?
Oh, we are definitely going to be getting married. We are not engaged yet.
Ooh.
We had to come to nationals, so that took a
Okay.
big chunk out of the wallet.
I feel it. The commitment you two have to nationals. Hold on. Our wedding's going to be on hold.
Yep. But yes,
That's
we
awesome,
definitely
man.
plan on getting married.
Dude, that is absolutely fantastic. So, last question I got for both of you. What do you guys see coming up in the next 5 to 10 years? Is this, number one, I want to say before you answer, this brotherhood is unbelievable. I sent out a message last night. I've said it in a couple podcasts. I've been a part of a lot of different groups of men. I've been a part of a lot of different groups of people. And I got to tell you, within the first 24 hours of being involved with with men, but it's like,
It's life-changing.
it's incredible. There's so much support. There's not a ton of judgment. There's not overcorrection.
not at
There's
all.
just like, hey man, we just love for you to be here. And that has kind of blown me away a little bit. So recognizing that, what do you guys see yourselves doing in the next 5 to 10 years? Is this going to be something that you want to maintain consistently, being in these competitions, being a part of Death Grip, being in this brotherhood? Or do you see yourself kind of venturing into other directions?
So personally, myself,
Yeah.
I'm a president of a car club, and so
Nice.
we're in the car scene community. That's actually how we met. I'm a photographer, and she is a model.
Yeah.
So another compliment. And
Compliment.
honestly, for the next 5 to 10 years, I see us being in nationals every year, worlds as much as we can. I'm lieutenant of Beard Mob North Texas now.
Nice.
And next month on December 2nd, we have our competition, and that'll be our 1 year in the beard community.
Yeah.
And the beard and mustache community is life-changing, honestly. And not even because about the facial hair, but just the camaraderie and just the brotherly love of everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody just wants to help each other and not bring each other down. And
Yeah, I noticed
lot
that.
like it.
The rankings and everybody keeps calling it a competition today, but it's more just like
a big
we're
hangout.
we're all getting together,
Yep.
and that's something that's amazed me, man. So, how about you? How do you feel?
I mean, I love it. I plan to stay here as long as possible. Try
Yeah.
to keep. I want to become one of the top Whiskerinas and be as good as Natalie and Summer and them and stuff. Because what they do.
She will be top Whiskerina.
Ooh.
I mean, but I like the support and everything. I love it. It's just great.
Yeah, that's fantastic, guys. Well, I won't keep you any longer. Again, I'm gonna steal the start from you. Not really. But thank you guys so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us on.
I'm going to put this down, and I want you guys one more time, because like we said, socials are big in our game. Stay right in that camera. Tell everyone where they can find you.
On Instagram, it's DavidW69 and handlebar.art. And then on Facebook, it is David Trey Wiehausen, Weihausen, and you can find us on Death Grip Wax, and Beard Mob North Texas.
For me, Instagram is _Hannah AA_.
That's dope.
Perfect.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having us
You're
on, man.
awesome.
Thank you for joining the Brotherhood.
Absolutely. I am happy as hell to be a part of this.
And we're
brotherhood.
happy to have you.
What's up, bro?
Just wanted to ask you if they told you about their run-in with the law earlier today.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Her beard has 2 pistols on it, and they almost had to take the beard out because of the pistols on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Living life dangerously.
Always.
I feel it.
We're Texans to the heart.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
2 dimes and a token.